Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video about um, the next generation and the troubling times that they are facing ahead, how they are being trained by technology to be slaves to the algorithm. Why is this important? We live in a difficult time, we live in stressful times, we live in uncertain times. AI is upon us. Most of us will be. Um, our jobs will be displaced by AI. We will, have to rely on government handouts, universal basic income to fend for ourselves because most of you will not be earning a living very soon. Okay. And the only way to protect yourself is to future proof your success by becoming content creators. We are all moving online, we are all living our lives out online, and for you to be successful, you need a following online. You need to be seen online. You need to be seen as somebody who is important online. And the way we do it here is we become subject matter experts. We rise to the top. We become points of authority. We are seen as people in charge, and naturally, money will start flowing your way. You'll be seen as somebody who's important, somebody who can garner attention, somebody who is able to in essence, be a leader, become a charismatic leader, and you need to start building your kingdom now. You need to protect yourself now because you only have a small window of opportunity left before AI comes in and takes over. Okay. AI will displace most of you. AI will soon be able to make content just as good as humans. And for you to um, get ahead of the curve while you still have a chance is to start getting in from the ground up, making content now, build a following before it is too late. But let's see what the future generations is in store for them.
I wonder how his life was going to go. What is he going to want to do outside of scrolling? How are his friendships going to look? His relationships? How much of his life is just going to be flashing pixels? Is he going to have depression and anxiety like everyone else around him? Is he going to have any imagination? Is he even going to be able to sit down with his own thoughts and come up with any original ideas? What is he going to do when AI and VR headsets come out? What is he going to do? What is one chance at life?
So before we get into this, this is this is a reality that is ahead. These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. It's all great saying, yeah, look, we live in a society where technological advances are constantly being made. But what are the consequences of these technologies? For a lot of people, um, you won't realize what these consequences are until it is too late. For example, um, we all have Wi-Fi in our homes, but nobody really knows how dangerous. Think about it. There's actual rays, right? Like rays of information floating around in your head to your device. Now, is that bad for for your mental health, for your brain? Right? Can it cause tumors? Like, who the fuck knows, right? We're not going to see the effects of mass Wi-Fi within our homes until another 10, 15 years. Okay. I saw this one experiment where you had a Wi-Fi box and you put you put like some grass growing next to it, right? And basically when it was switched on, the grass wasn't growing, and then if you switch the Wi-Fi off, it started growing. Okay, so is it stunting our development of our brains? Like we just don't know what the answers are to this question. The one thing that is a constant in our world is money. You need to amass as much money as possible, and at the same time also amass as much influence and power as possible. Okay, which is why you need a kingdom. Being rich isn't good enough. You also need to have influence and power, which is why you see celebrities such as Elon Musk, sorry, businessmen like Elon Musk, who the richest man in the world, you know, building his fame on Twitter, constantly tweeting, constantly in the news, constantly, appearing on the Joe Rogan podcast, for example, because he realizes how influential being famous is. It ensures you are relevant, it ensures people know who you are. And that's how you attain the best business deals. That's how you attain the best opportunities life has to offer, you end up becoming a king. You end up being seen as a king, somebody who is important. Um, and naturally, women will be attracted to you. Naturally, people would want to be your friends. People would want to gain favor with you, offer you opportunities, and you'll end up with being spoiled for choice with the best that life has to offer. If you want to live a luxury life, if you want to live a life where you are the one in control, where you are the one who gets to decide what he chooses, then you need to build out a kingdom. You need to become a king. And here at Royal Instinct, we are building our kingdoms. We are rising to the top. I'm looking here for 100 people to join me on this journey to living life at the top, to becoming a king, um, and build a network, a royal alliance of kings. Okay, because why would you want to be all alone at the top? You want to party and celebrate, in and amongst other kings who you can trust, who have your back, um, who you've gone through it in the trenches, who you've fought battles with, and that is what we're doing here. We're rising to the top. We are building our kingdoms, and we will win, and we will be living lives of luxury.
The internet. We all know what it is. Hell, you're using it right now. It's arguably the most impactful technology in history. It's helped us accomplish things that past generations thought was impossible. It's become so embedded in our daily lives that we will spend decades of our existence connected to it in some way. And the best part about it is that it's all on a device that fits in your pocket. Never before has there been a device that's as powerful as your smartphone.
And all these positives that he's spewing out here, it's but are we being under surveillance constantly? We always have a camera pointed at us. We always have a GPS tracking device on us. This is where the technocrats, the elites of the world want us. They want to be able to listen in, to see us, to spy on us, to follow us around, to know what we're doing at all times, because their end goal is to squeeze us of resources, to take what is ours, and they will become the de facto rulers of the world. um you know you and that they want to take your freedoms. They want to lock you up in your own room, in a voluntary prison system, where you are running around in the metaverse because you will be plugged in. You won't have a job to exert your freedom in the world, because everything will be too expensive, and then you'll just be stuck living an inhumane life in your room for the rest of life, until you fizzle out of existence. You will not reproduce. You will not have any children. Won't be able to afford to start a family. You won't have any type of dating life, and pretty much it is fucked for you and the rest of your generation, the rest of society. The only way to beat it is for you to start developing and building a kingdom, networking with other kings, rising to the top, becoming somebody who is influential, somebody who is seen as a influential subject matter expert, in effect becoming a celebrity, an influencer. You need to do this, and do this now while you still have an opportunity, because in the end, most of humanity will be left behind. Most of humanity will be too slow to react to this. So you have to get ahead of the curve now. Now, the thing is, in the future, AI will be too good, too powerful, and it will almost start making its own content, rivaling the quality that a human could produce. And at that point, it truly is game over. There'll be no new entrants into the market. There'll be no new entrants into the system. And most of all, the algorithms will get so strong that they will be able to, copy what humans are doing, and they will replicate it in AI form and suppress the human channels and profiles. And, that they'll boost up their um, own AI run channels, because YouTube will start running its own AI channels, making its content. There'll be millions and billions of them. So, you know, they want total control. They want to be the producers of the content. They want to spoon feed it to you directly into your brain so they can extract as much money and out of your pocket and exert as much influence as they can into your mind.
If you showed your great, 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 great ancestor the world we live in today and handed them your phone, they would think it's magic. They would assume we're all living in a utopia. They would wonder what we would do all day and how any of us have any problems at all. The whole power of the internet, all human knowledge, in the palm of your hand. But what happens when you put a screen in front of your face and you're only 7 years old? Well, to put it simply, you're fucked.
And I've seen this. I've gone to parties where people come with their children and their kids. They're all they're all very quiet. They're not loud. They're all and people say, oh, what a well behaved child. But then you really look into it. It's like there's like a little bit of sadness in their eyes. And these kids aren't being abused. These kids aren't being um you know beaten at home. These kids are just sitting there and they hold on to even a smartphone or some sort of iPad or smart device, and they're literally just staring at a screen because that is what they're being trained to do. That is how they um, receive information into their brain, and it's a source of comfort. I saw another video on Twitter where basically the mother took the a smartphone away from her child, and the child, well, 12 years old, as a teenager, he trashed the whole house. He literally he literally destroyed everything at home, including the TVs, including all the cooking devices, all the microwave, the lady's laptop, which and she was crying because she was like, like that is she won't be able to log in into her job. She might lose a job now because she doesn't have a laptop to work off. And because it's the phone has become an extension of who we are. It's like literally, it's like, and even me, like like if like when if you don't have your phone with you, you kind of feel a little bit exposed. You feel like you feel naked. Or what if somebody needs to reach me? What if I get a message, right? And it's it has connected us to something that is beyond our comprehension. And of course, we are what it is we're connected to the internet. But it's like the internet in an essence becomes your new society. And like before we needed to feel a connection to our own communities, but now it's like we need this connection to the internet at all times. And I'm someone who really got a smartphone when I was in my early 20s. Okay. I had a mobile phone in my teens, but really, like who you just texting your friends, some useless shit. Like, well, you're gonna come out and play at the park. But now the when I got the smartphone, and then I got it in my 20s, like so somebody who's got a developed mind already, and I'm feeling kind of connected to my device. Okay, if you're a child and you've been given an iPad your whole life, and this is how you learn stuff, this is how you entertain yourself, and now it's not in your hands, of course you're going to feel like you're missing a part of yourself. Do you get what I mean? So these kids, in essence, they are fucked.
If you don't know, the term iPad kid is a term describing young kids who are growing up with modern technology, allowing them to constantly be glued to an iPad screen or another device that is constantly connected to the internet, meaning they are chronically online in some way. This title is usually given to kids born past 2010, called Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha, also known as our future doctors, lawyers, engineers, and the literal foundation of society that's going to be carrying the human species into the unforeseeable future, might just be in the worst possible position.
Well, first of all, if these are just children of the West that he's speaking about, because in countries like China, they, even though they might be addicted to iPads and iPhones, they are watching content which is educational. So, they are aware of the dangers of iPads, of smart devices, and they are spoon feeding them things that will make them more smarter, more educated in the long run. Whereas here, these kids are just watching, like animal cartoons, or just stupid shit on TikTok. And it's entertaining, but it's not mentally stimulating for these kids. And we might end up with a generation of dumber people. But the solution would be, AI will displace most of those jobs. Okay, AI will displace most of human jobs, and robots will start doing surgeries. You'll have robots mechanically repair other machinery. So there's no need to fear, because the big tech has the solution for you in that sense.
Ever. And I know that every generation says this about the last, but I really do mean this. They are the first generation to really grow up with technology, like from day one. Now, I was born in 2001. I grew up playing V-Smile. I remember playing Tekken 7 on the PS1, and when Gran Turismo 4 was the most realistic game ever. I remember when the Wii came out and being haunted by this face. I remember when Instagram was brown and having 400 followers was legendary. I remember when YouTube used to look like this on a 3.5-inch iPod screen. I remember when TVs looked like this, and when Infinity Blade was the most expensive and amazing game ever. I remember cool math games and block swords, and I'm not saying I didn't grow up with any technology, because I did, but it wasn't anything close to what we had.
Yeah, I'm someone who grew up with technology. I had a Game Boy when I was 5 years old, right? Like, and I remember getting it and playing Tetris. And that was like the game that we had. Okay, and it was like black and white. It was literally, like the one game, and I would play it for like an hour a day. Just be right. That song on a loop just gets stuck in your head. Um, but it was so clunky. You could tell it wasn't part of reality, right? Whereas the technology now is so realistic. Like the graphics on it are getting better and better and better, and especially with AI and rendering technology. Um, you know, like soon, real life won't be as good as immersive technology, right? Whereas like something like a black and white Game Boy, okay, was fun, right? But it wasn't as great as seeing, colorful real life, okay, because it was black and white. And then as it evolved, it's got better and better, and then people started spending longer and longer time on there. And the next step is virtual reality. The next step is being plugged into the metaverse, and that is where we are ending up very, very soon.
Today. Even though I had technology around me, I still remember playing Foursquare at school. I remember loving the Magic Treehouse series. I remember those multiplication math tests that would stress me out. I remember riding bikes up and down hills and skidding up my knees. I remember staying up late at night reading the Percy Jackson series, which was the first series of books I actually enjoyed reading on my own time. I remember Beyblades and silly bands, and I remember actually being excited for Christmas. I remember when not every single moment had to be captured on a damn phone and you could actually just enjoy the moment. Before everyone had a 4K HDR slow motion camera in their pocket. Before 4K was even out. Before Fortnite. Before TikTok. Before this
Okay, this guy's
and
just
shit like
rambling.
this. But now everyone has it. Everyone. There's a good chance that even your parents have TikTok, and you probably doom scrolled and liked thousands of posts. You probably sent your own friends.
Yeah, these technologies are very addictive. I hate jumping on Twitter and seeing a video and then just being like curious, what's the next video? Do you get what I mean? And you just end up in this death loop of never-ending clickbaity videos. The same on Instagram Reels, and TikTok is the worst. And the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself, because if you like big titty, blonde girls, then it was going to show you big titty blonde girls in bikinis, right? Like, it's just a constant fucking thing. These devices are taking over. These devices are taking over your mind, your creativity, your attention, in essence. And the only way to protect yourself is for you to become rich enough for you to be able to isolate yourself from these things, from form your own communities. You need to become the leader that you need, right? There's many people who feel the same as you do, who just don't have the balls to go out there and build a kingdom. I encourage you to build your kingdom. I encourage you to say no to these destructive devices. and give people an alternative, right? Be on the platforms yourself, and give them educational content, give them content that will help them in some shape or form. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to change the world. I'm trying to better humanity by looking for 100 people who are on the same mission, and I'm trying to bring us together to form a community of royals, so we can build our kingdom, so we can live lives like millionaires, live luxury lives, become the de facto leaders of the world, overthrow the current leaders, and take humanity to a better future and a better conclusion in the long run. But that is it for today. If you want to work with me, go to royalinstinct.com. For everybody else, see you later.